Hey everybody, this is Andie Snyder, your dating and relationship coach from Find and Keep a Great Man. I am excited to share with you Dating A to Z's, sponsored today by the letter E. And I was wondering whether or not I would continue to share the Dating A to Z's with you, because I was getting a lot of flack from people about whether or not to continue doing that given the environment that we're in of COVID-19. And so given the environment of COVID-19, I want to set that stage of this environment to share Dating A to Z's, the COVID-19 environment. And so in the environment of COVID-19 and how to cope with that, I want to talk specifically about that. The environment that we're in is pervasively one right now of fear and challenge and disconnection and isolation, and they're asking people to social distance. And so what I am encouraging everyone to think about is, instead of social distance, to think about that as physical distance, to physically distance yourself rather than socially distance yourself from others. And the reason I am encouraging you to think about it from that perspective is because when you think about it as socially distant from others, then you're really thinking about it as isolating yourself off from other people, from really disconnecting yourself socially. And that is totally different from being physically distant from other people. Physical distance is separating yourself in a physical way, and that could be 6 feet, that could be 10 feet, but it doesn't mean being socially disconnected. I have friends, I have clients, I have family members who are definitely connecting while they are being physically distant. So whether or not you are taking a walk with somebody and you are separating yourself in a distant way, or whether you're gathering your whole block and getting together in a meeting and separating yourself in a circle and connecting in a big circle but being physically distant, or maybe getting together with your neighbors and being connected on your distant patios and still having your connection. So that's one way of connecting. Maybe you're connecting with family or friends over Zoom or FaceTime or Skype. You can maybe do dancing lessons or exercise lessons, or you could even do all sorts of different lessons of schooling. There are ways of connecting over media for Zoom or teleseminar. Today our tribe did a whole healing for COVID-19 over our social media, Zoom. So there's so many ways to connect, and perhaps you could even go on a date over Zoom or a WhatsApp or Messenger video. So there's lots of ways that you can connect using the environment. When the feeling is pervasively fear, it's in a space of disconnect. So what I'm asking and inviting you to do is to think about the environment and what it is that you're listening to, what it is that you're hearing, what it is that you're reading, and staying out of that, staying out of the environment of fear, and really doing your best to be inspired, doing your best to be in a state of love and connection rather than in that state of fear, more often than not. And I'll give you a personal story that talks to that. most of the time, over the past couple of weeks, I've been doing client calls online. So I've been inside, and so only recently I've gone out to the store, and it was like a big adventure for me because I've been inside. So it's like my great adventure going out into the world. And I know that some of my clients have thought, oh, I've been so isolated. Going out to the store has been a big adventure. And for me, it was that way too. So what I did was I went out to the store, and I had to wait in line in order to be let into the store. And I waited, and I didn't think much of it, but I wasn't really connected to the people in line, and I wasn't prepared. It was kind of like a haphazard. I didn't plan really to go. I was out, and then I had to go, and so I thought, okay, I'll go. I didn't have gloves with me. I didn't have a mask with me. I hadn't prepared to make any of those things ahead of time. I hadn't gotten them delivered yet from Amazon, and so I didn't have them with me yet. And but I still needed to go to the store and get my vegetables for dinner. And so I went to the store, and I felt like, okay, maybe I should be avoiding people, because I wasn't wearing the mask and I didn't have gloves, although I did have my hand sanitizer with me, and so I could sanitize everything when I came back into the house. So I felt, maybe, should I be avoiding? Should I not be avoiding? I don't know. And so when I walked down the aisles, I thought, maybe I should avoid. But what I noticed was other people were avoiding too. They weren't making eye contact. It wasn't like a smiley type of event. It didn't feel like a social gathering. It felt very heavy, like a very down type of experience, very full of fear. And when I left, I felt, wow, that trip to the store was a very down experience. I felt, wow, it took a lot out of my day. It really wasn't a fun event for me. Not like going to the grocery store was always a fun event, or it wasn't a neutral event. It felt more like, wow, it pulled my energy very down. And I noticed that I had to do some healing about going to the grocery store. So I had to heal my heart. And I thought, I don't want the grocery store to be a negative influence in my life. I want it to be neutral or positive. I want it to be positive because I'm taking in nutrients. I'm bringing positive things into my life. When I cooked this amazing dinner, it was a very good thing for me. I was so grateful when I look at my full house, of my full refrigerator, the flowers that are in my house right now. When I look at all of the supplies that I have, I am absolutely so grateful. When I looked at all the people who were helping me at the store, who were the workers that were there, I felt so grateful. So I didn't want the grocery store to be a negative influence on my life. I just want to feel full of gratitude. So when I look back at the event, now I feel full of gratitude. Right? So it's a good thing. Everything about that event now is good. So when I went to the grocery store today to pick up a couple things that I still needed, that I wasn't able to get the first time, I had a mask on this time. And so that was slightly different from the first event. And I had done my healing work about the first time that I had gone. And when I actually spoke with a guy who was in line with me. And he reached out, and I spoke with him, and we talked about how we were feeling about what was happening in our lives because of COVID-19. And I thought, how nice that we could actually have a heartfelt connection. And I thought, this is what was different about the first time, that there was absolutely no connection with anyone. And when I walked down the aisles, I made eye contact with people. Even though I was wearing a mask and you couldn't see anything else except for my eyes, I made eye contact. And people made eye contact back. And you can actually smile when you're wearing a mask, and people know. You know when you're smiling, even though the rest of you is covered up. And I know that makes a difference. And even though they have the face shields that people, you can't see except it's plexiglass, people know that you're smiling. People know that you're being friendly. People know that you're connecting. And the mood, that pervasive mood that you have when you're walking through the aisles, whether or not you're being annoyed because someone's getting a little bit too distant close or they're separated, people know whether or not you're annoyed or whether or not you're in an okay space with it. Because if you happen to get too close and you're like smiling, oh, it's okay, and you back up and you give the person space, it's a different feeling than whether or not someone's like, oh, I can't believe you're too close. So the feeling state of people being rushed or people being annoyed, people being friendly and smiling, wow, that made total difference in the way I was reacting to other people, and the giving them the space and the smiling and the checking in with people. Wow, that made such a difference for me. And letting people know, oh, wow, I love your mask. It's totally cool. And connecting with others friends that I ran into and saying, hey, how is it going for you? That made a big difference in my day. And when I came home from the store, I wasn't depleted. My mood was not depleted. I didn't feel lowered of energy. And that shift for me in terms of the outing, not only was I grateful for all of the workers at the store in terms of them being on the front line, I'm grateful for the food that I'm taking in, but I'm also able to make connection with all those people, the people that were my friends that I happened to run into at the store, but also all those other people that I interacted with behind the mask that I didn't even know, but I know that my energy, my positive energy, affected their day. And that makes a difference for me, how I can affect and connect with others. So I encourage and invite you, when you're going out and about into the world, whether or not you're at the gas station or you're at a grocery store, or you're picking up something from a restaurant, or you're at the bank, or wherever you happen to be, whether you're on the phone with someone who's helping you out, just the mood makes a difference. The smile makes a difference. The smile, because that smile can be seen in your eyes, and that smile can be seen even behind a mask, and that smile can be felt in your body. And so just know that, and that ability to connect with others is what we're looking for. That makes a shift in our environment. And this new normal that everybody's talking about, we don't know what that new normal is going to look like. I think that's part of what the fear that everybody's kind of experiencing, if people are experiencing fear about this new normal, is because we really don't know what a new normal is. We didn't even know what an old normal was. And some people don't respond well to being normal and being called normal or being in a normal. And so to think about going into a new normal, gosh, I don't even know if I like the old normal, but normal. So that's just, if we're going to project anything about a normal and a new normal, let's see if we can transition into something that allows us to ease into something that is really just yummy, just juicy, that's loving, that's vibrant, that's healthy, that is peaceful, that allows us to feel loved and loving, that allows us to connect with others from just a radiant, vibrant heart space that is just really shows us authentically as us, and that connects us to others who are authentically them, and that allows us to really feel empowered to go out and shine and connect just as our best selves, really enabling us to be with others who are their best selves and create extraordinary relationships, whether it's at work or at play, whether it's in business or at home, whether it is in love or in any other way, so that if you are in a loving relationship now, that it just expands and magnifies and blossoms into the absolute best that it possibly can be. And if you are seeking a loving relationship, that you magnify that to you, and that it just expands into the absolute best that it possibly can be for you. All right, I encourage and invite you to surround yourself with loving people, people who love and adore you, people who absolutely support you, and that you reach out to those people if you want any support at this time, that you reach out to your friends, your family, your mentors, your loved ones, because now is not the time to isolate. Now is the time to be in connection. That now you reach out to your loved ones and connect, that you go out and you physical distance without social distancing, and you also limit the amount of time that you spend taking in information from your environment that brings you down, and instead that you spend as much time as possible taking in information from your environment that lifts you up and inspires you to be your best self and expand your heart space and fill you up with love. All right, much love for you, and look forward to connecting with you more soon. Bye-bye for now.